Hello, my name is Julia Rose. It's a little dark in here. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki master, energy healer, herbalist, vocalist, and a few other things, but primarily that's what counts here. I pray these messages find you at the precise time you need them. Before we begin, I'm going to pray. Hello and welcome in. We're going to wait a few moments for others to arrive. Can you see me okay? Does it need to be a little brighter? How's that? Maybe a little better. Hello, welcome in. It's an important message today, and I had every intention of starting on time, but you know how it goes. Hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. I pray these words are comforting and soothing to your soul and your aching heart. Hi, MJ, welcome in. Mother, Father, God, please protect the shared space that we have today. I invite the archangels and our spirit guides, our animal guides, animal totems, to hold space for us and assist in me channeling these messages for you today. Hello, Mill. Welcome in. Welcome in. How's the lighting? I can't really tell. Can you see me okay? Brighter, brighter, brighter. That'll do. Hello and welcome in. Today's a message on grief. Lighting is good. Hello, welcome in. Today we're going to be talking about healing through grief. So it might feel a little heavy today, but that's because we're holding space for all of us to navigate this together. Hi, Julia. Welcome in. Jay Radhe. Family, I was getting very emotional preparing for this reading, and you can probably hear it and see it a little bit in my face, but I guess before I say anything or get into channeling messages, I just want to let you know that I honor you, and I honor your pain, I honor your grief, and I honor how difficult it is to navigate that. And frankly, when I was told that this would be the message today, and I sat in preparation to connect with you all today, I didn't know how I was going to speak on this and share about grief, about healing from grief, healing through grief. Because for me, when I am overwhelmed in that emotional state, I get quiet. And by quiet, I mean silent. Because it feels like It's too much even to break the silence. It's too much to even speak. So today, we're here to honor the process of navigating grief and how to come out on the other side. It's devastating to lose a loved one. It's absolutely devastating. And it's one thing when our loved ones depart from this world, and it's another thing to lose a loved one in the sense that we are grieving those that are still here on this planet with us. The perceptions we have of people devastated, shattered by the revelation of truth. So all I can do at the start of this message is hold space for you and to let you know that I know what it's like to be here in this state, and tapping into this energy to prepare for this message, which was actually quite difficult for me because of all of the work that I've done to heal from everything that's broken my heart. And so diving back into the pits with you all to help you navigate it. That's what the topic is here. It's hard to want to do anything when you're in this energy. It's hard to feel like there's an end to it. It's hard to feel like there's a way out or a way forward, because the grief is such that it feels like an all-pervasive block. It's like this person in front of you saying, nope, can't go that way, can't go that way. Anytime you are able to take a step forward, it's like this figure or shadow, whatever, is pushing you back into it. Kind of jarringly, I'll say. And we'll get to the role of God in healing here. We'll get there. But right now this is primarily about what it means to feel the feeling of grief. And this message is so important that at every single turn I've tried to start today, this has created some massive interference. I want to let you know that you are able to overcome grief against all odds, despite everything. and you're wondering, Julia, those are just a bunch of words. That's what the Bible says, that's what Scripture says. Suffering's a part of life, you're not supposed to stay there, blah, blah, blah. I've read about it. I've heard this before. But the key to embodying your faith and your understanding is to take that into every circumstance. I'm sorry, Rosa, that's really difficult. I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense. And people, after a certain period of time, people will, I don't know. You know, forgive me, family, the distortions are really heavy in trying to get this message out. That was not something that was supposed to come through, which is why I stopped mid-sentence. There's so much here that is ready for you to uncover and rediscover about yourself through the emotional healing that you're about to embark on. And to embark upon emotional healing means to not only observe the state that you're in, intellectually understand what is happening, but to go through the actual process of feeling the feelings. And that means emotionally experiencing what is actually happening around you. And in order to move past grief, it requires opening and returning to the heart space to feel what is there, to dig deep, pull it up, pull it out, name it, to feel it. And when you feel it, you heal it, you release the energy that is stored in your body. This is what we mean by trauma gets stored in the body. That pervasive sense of exhaustion, that general lack of motivation. It's all well and good to say, oh yeah, I should do that, when your body is overcome with the exhaustion of holding on to grief. Grief, like every other emotion, believe it or not, is not meant to be held on to. I could even say the same about joy. It's meant to move through us. And when we release these denser vibrations of grief by allowing ourselves and creating the space around us to experience the sadness, to experience the loss, to acknowledge and feel what has been taken. We can release it with the understanding that here's where God comes in. Things happen for a reason. And for some of you here, a lot of you, like myself, when you lose a loved one, I lost my mom a couple of years ago. I was up in my head all the time, thinking about all of the ways that I had missed out. All the conversations I never had. All of the things that I never got to do with her. And then punishing myself, beating myself up for not being more open, not having been more receptive to her. to see that in retrospect, the version of myself that I was then couldn't have operated any other way is not something to punish myself for, and that's not something you should punish yourself for. To navigate grief is to acknowledge that when people transition and they go to the other side is genuinely a safer place to be. It is genuinely a place without pain and without fear. Like, for example, I lost my mom to cancer. So when she transitioned, a part of me was relieved because she wasn't suffering the way that I had been seeing her suffer, her body and mental clarity just decay so quickly. It was devastating. This is a process of detachment. A spiritual realization in that our loved ones never really leave us. And they try to show us ways that they never leave us. And this is where the signs come in. For example, I'm gonna cry. For example, my mom and I always used to eat chocolate cake. It's our thing. We love chocolate cake. And when she passed, I didn't really eat it so much. And there would be a couple of times, I mean, over the years, and I would just be going about my day, going about my life, and I'd see something that reminds me of her. Like whether it's I'm out getting a bite to eat, or I'm out grocery shopping and I see a chocolate cake identical to something that we would have shared. Or I see the number of my mom's birthday, or her initials, or her name, or something about Wisconsin because she's from Wisconsin. And I learned to choose to see those signs as ways that my mom was telling me she's still here with me all the time, helping me navigate all of these circumstances, helping me move up and out of grief and into a life of love and freedom. And sure, it's easier said than done, but it makes me feel better, so why wouldn't I choose that? I'd rather choose to believe that my mom is here with me, supporting me. I can feel her presence sometimes. Like sometimes I can smell her perfume or the stupid hairspray she used to use that I hated. And I go, oh mom, I feel you here. I know you got me. Our loved ones even in situations where our relationships were not so good, our loved ones and ourselves, we ourselves can heal the relationships we have, even when our loved ones are on the other side, easily. By choosing compassion, by choosing God's grace, by choosing to see God's hand in everything. To I'm just hearing that. Is it a Broadway song? You are not alone. I don't know. But saying that to someone who's grieving is quite insensitive. And to hear that as someone who grieves, to say, oh, you're not alone in this. Well, when I'm grieving, I feel numb. And when I feel numb, there's nothing anyone can do or say to lessen that intensity. So, Julia, how then? How then? You say you got through it, but how did you really? Because it can't just be the signs. Because in that state, the signs don't mean anything, Julia. Well, absolutely, Julia, for me as well. To be honest, it was a catalyst to my awakening. And most people in my life, if they heard me say this, which they probably will because a lot of them watch my channel, if they heard me say that every time my mom got sicker or had another diagnosis, it would catalyze a profound awakening for me to feel even closer to God. Every single time. Some of the most profound realizations I ever had. That, as I'm shuffling here and cutting the deck, Ace of Swords, that everything that we experience can be used and shifted, shall I say, our perspective around everything we experience can be shifted such that we can see God's hand in all of it. And to cling to God, to cling to our faith, is our saving grace. Because it helps us release. It helps us cultivate a space for ourselves in the privacy and the love of God to feel everything that we're feeling. When I tell you that every time I meditated for a year, I would cry, I mean that. Because when I would sit there and I would pray in kirtan, the art of singing mantras. And for me, I relate to Krishna, and Krishna is God for me. I mean, God is one, this is a whole other conversation, but every time I would sing God's names, I would feel so loved. I would feel so held and safe to feel what I was feeling. And that was something that no other person could provide for me. For me, on my journey, I had to go through it alone. I had to go through it alone. But you don't have to. That's why I'm here. And a lot of your guides, I don't even want to say it. A lot of your guides have been telling me, Julia, so-and-so needs to book with you because they need someone that they can vent to. Someone that they can explain what's going on and you can navigate them through it. And I more than anything want to be that person for you. I really do. And I don't want to sit here and tell you what you need. Because your choice to take the hand that is reaching out for you is your choice. It's not something that should be forced on you. So if that's something that you feel inspired to do, if you feel like you need help and need someone to help you find the perspective that can help you move up and out of this grief and navigate the intensity of the feeling, I can absolutely be that person for you. If you want me, I'm here. God is holding your hand and sitting right next to you. You can book with me. The link is down in the description box. God is with you, holding your hand through everything. You're welcome. God is with you, holding your hand through everything. And I have to say this again and again and again. It's because we forget when we can't feel it. And we can't feel it when we're numb, when we're not feeling, because our hearts are closed off from the grief. Yeah, I mean, my mom getting cancer was the reason that I turned into studying holistic healing. If only I'd done it sooner. There's one God. If only I would have done it sooner. Maybe I could have done something. And boy, did I used to beat myself up for that. Yup, the guilt. If only I could have done this. If only I could have done that. If only we could have had these moments together. It's not... I mean, well, if it wasn't for her and it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be going the lengths that I go to do what I do. I wouldn't have dedicated so much of my time, my resources, my energy into becoming as powerful a healer as I am today. God bless you, Desmond. And so I could sit here and say, you know what? It didn't matter. I couldn't save her. But at that point, I didn't have faith in God the way that I do now. I couldn't see then. What I see now is that, which is that God arranged everything for all of our highest goods. And that's painful to hear. That for some of you, some of you had the responsibility of holding space for the transition of your loved ones or loved one. And there were other people in your life that weren't contractually allowed to be present. And when I say contractually, I mean soul contracts with God. And I want to reiterate that this was because it is okay, that it is okay. It is okay because things happened the way that they needed to. For your highest good, for their highest good, and the highest good of the one who transitioned. Things are not always the way we want them to be, but they're how they need to be. In order for us to see what we need to see, to feel what we need to feel and move up and out. And God is asking you to feel. God is asking you to feel this. And for some of you, I mean, listen, when I first went through my spiritual awakening, like, when I tell you I cried every single time I meditated, I actually mean that I cried every single day for months straight. Releasing all of the trauma, all of the grief, the pain, the heartbreak, the betrayal that I had been storing inside my body for months, under the veils of addiction. Under the veils of addiction. No, I don't want to feel that. It's too difficult to look at. I'll just take this. I'll just do whatever until it all just resolves itself, and then I don't have to do anything. Well, I can tell you that almost got me dead. So that was my wake-up call. When the worst got worse, I knew that I had to make a change. I was the only one that could show up for myself and make the change that I needed in my life. Happy you made it, Grant. Hi, Crystal. Yes. Just you and your grandfather in the room. Yeah. AA Michael says, quiet your mind and follow your bliss. And that's excellent advice after you feel your feelings. Because in the vegetative state of depression, the mind is either what feels like irrecoverably silent or constantly circling the drain of anxiety. There's no in between. Either way, the physical exhaustion is nearly impossible to overcome. So dive in. And I know that sounds as terrifying as it was to lose your loved ones. But this pain is going to reshape the way that you perceive yourself and the way you perceive life and the way you perceive God. That's beautiful, Crystal. And that's an excellent example. She says, I sat on the ground in the dirt and wrote him a song to thank him for all he showed me and the love he showed me, even when I didn't show it to myself. That's incredible. That's incredible. Because you're honoring the light that he brought to your life. And it's helping put into perspective your grief. You had a beautiful example in your life of what it means to have compassion for another's suffering, as modeled by your grandfather. This is such a powerful tool also to move through your grief, to hold on to how special he was and still is, because these loved ones are living memories, and our relationships with our loved ones don't stop even when they transition out of their bodies. Take all the signs that I was giving you examples of before. The chocolate cake that I used to eat with my mom, seeing her birthday, seeing her name, smelling her perfume, or even just feeling her presence around me. And yes, sometimes I want to cry about it, so I do. So I do. So what? Everybody cries. God loves you all so much. Those of you here in bodies and those of you who have transitioned too. Because I know there's plenty of y'all out here watching. But really, feeling your grief is to honor the life and the love you had and have for whoever it is you lost. On the one hand, it's grieving the things that won't happen in the future. And it's grieving all of the beautiful moments that you had. So, absolutely, Crystal, absolutely. God honors you all so much. God honors your pain and is more than willing and capable to hold compassionate, loving space for you, as am I. And God is wanting you to offer yourself that same compassion, that same love, that same gentle care. Some good old-fashioned TLC. Tender loving care. I just want to take the intentions that you've all sent to send healing energy my way. I thank you. I receive that, and I want to hold that all up and mirror it back to you tenfold. Grief is something we're meant to move through together. And that includes you, helping you move through your grief. And it's not about inner child healing. It's not about opening your third eye or aligning your chakras. It's just about honestly feeling what you're feeling and not hiding it anymore. Not being afraid to acknowledge and hold space for that. Say, you know what? I'm really upset right now. You know what? That experience really hurt me. You know what? It crushed me when that person that I loved died. That person that I loved died. It crushed me. You have to own the experiences. Because validating that for yourself, offering yourself the validation of the pain that you feel. It's not the most pleasant thing that defines us. But even then, it's not meant to define us. It's meant to reshape you. You and me, we're getting reshaped by everything that makes us cry or makes us want to throw up from the pain. We're getting reshaped. Crystal, I honor you and I honor that. And I'll tell you, ooh, I'm gonna cry. It's so hard, Krishna, why? Ooh. Well, Crystal, I started this video by saying I didn't even know where to start because when I feel grief, I just get quiet and I go back to being invisible. And because I know what that's like, I know how to help you and show you that you are seen and heard and felt even when you can't see, hear, or feel yourself. That's why I'm here. Yes, Julia says, I agree. The honesty is the start to the healing process. Absolutely. Well, spiritual awakening, Scorpio, welcome to our tribe. We cry here a lot. Or at least I cry a lot. If I'm not crying out here on the videos, I'm crying in private. And I'm not afraid to tell the whole world that. Because that's me. Sensitive Julia. Sensitive, emotional Julia. That can't help but get swept away by her feelings sometimes. And the acknowledgement, the honesty of the around the grief, the acknowledgement of the pain, holding space for that. Exactly where I'm going with this, spiritual awakening, Scorpio. The feeling of that emotion is going to open up and create so much space for you. Where things feel stagnant, things feel heavy, things feel cluttered and stuck. It's because externally, oh, not today, not today. One second, family. There's someone who just clicked on here that I need to click off. I need to have them click off. With all due respect, I understand that this message is also for you, but please do watch this at a later time when the live stream is finished. I can feel the pain here. Please click off. Thank you. The external, the sense and vision of stagnancy, the stuckness, the heavy feeling of just blah. That is an external mirror saying, hey, as above, so below. Things around you will start to open up and clear up when we can take this mirror of our external circumstances and turn inward and say, okay, there's something that I'm not seeing yet. There's something that I'm not acknowledging in my experience. For some, this is grief in the form of loss, and for some, this is grief in the form of betrayal. Yes, there's a particular person that has been blocking me trying to get this message out to you, and I can feel their presence here. Because this feeling of this is so many layers deep. I don't even want to get into it because they'd like me to make this message about them, right? And that's also how it can be on the journey. The journey of feeling your feelings. People trying to make your life about them so that you don't acknowledge what it is that you're honestly feeling and experiencing. so that you can step even more fully into your power. Do not give the people that want to see you suffering room in your life. Do not give them room, okay? These are people who will play on your emotions. Maybe in the 3D, maybe in actual conversation. But they're also the people that will psychically weaponize your grief against you. So please, please know that in your healing process, the roadblocks to overcoming your grief and alchemizing it, literally, the process, all alchemy is feeling what you're feeling. You take one thing and turn it into another. It goes from an interrupted emotional reaction that gets stored in the body to something that is felt, somehow physically released, and then is let go into lightness and the relief that you feel as a result of having finished the process of feeling. Because you, in your grief, can't see how powerful and how brilliant you are. You, in your grief, feel disempowered when it comes to owning your reality and taking every opportunity that God is trying to reach out and give you. The people that recognize how powerful you are don't want you moving out of your grief. They don't want you embracing your power, your ability to hold space for yourself, your ability to heal and heal others, to uplift yourself and uplift others. I can feel a lot of you have chills right now. This is it's a play on the insecurity that has been instilled. Whether that's happening in the 3D or it's happening psychically. If any of you are looking for a place to start in this process, please reach out to me. Please book a reading with me or an energy healing session with me. In the readings, I can shed light on the situation and help you reorient your perspective. In the energy healings, I can literally I can create the reality for you to step up and step into. And that's not going to do the act of feeling it for you, but it's going to solidify the reality that you're stepping into. And upon owning that, you are able to walk through everything. A healer creates space for you to embrace your power, for you to fully step up and step into who you are in truth, by helping you shed light on and take away everything that is not you. Like I've been saying this whole message, God is with you through this entire process. The entire time. The entire time. waiting for you to say, God, hey, are you there? Because I'm told that you are, but I can't feel you, I can't see you, I can't anything right now. And again, this message comes full circle to the signs. The signs that you have when God answers your prayer. How does God answer your prayer? Is it a thought? Is it a revelation? Is it something undeniable that is brought into your physical reality that you see and you're like, whoa. I couldn't even make that up if I tried. The signs from your loved ones who transitioned. My God. I'm just like, God's moving me energetically right now through what you're going to feel like going through this process of feeling the feelings, the actual catharsis itself, and then how you're going to feel on the other side once you fully release that. Some of you are going to feel called to purge your spaces, like reorganize, redecorate, go through massive house clearings, or change your hair, get a new wardrobe, things like this, where you're no longer defined by the emotions that are unconsciously burdening you. Who are you when you're free? Who are you when you're happy? Who are you when you stand and live in the light and love of God? And who do you want to be? And these questions all become possible. These questions all become possible to even contemplate when we've gone through the process of feeling to heal. Whomever you pray to, God, Jesus, Krishna, Allah, Yahweh, whoever it is, Adonai, whoever it is, that's who's waiting for you in this process. That's who is holding space for you in this process. Yeah. You, as a result of healing all of this energy, taking it, bringing it up, shaking it up, either intentionally or on God's clock, with whatever God's got cooking, all of these things are going to be moving up and out and through you, and you're just going to feel so unburdened. You're going to feel energized again, excited, because that's how you're meant to be. That is the vibration that your brain runs optimally on, is your excitement, your joy, your happiness. This energy of excitement, of upliftment, this is what's waiting for you. And unfortunately, I know, as much as like, you would not believe how many times I've asked God, can I skip this lesson? Do I really have to feel that? You'd not believe how many times I've looked for a cheat code or a cheat sheet or anything to help me. Anything. And God said, no. Law of learning, Julia. Law of learning. I can't just tell you everything. I can't just do it all for you. Because you wouldn't learn. Because that's what you're here for. I know, tragic, guys. I gotta be honest, though. It really does be like that sometimes. Hey, Lune, welcome. God, can I get a promo code? Or like a... You know, I'm seeing like those... If y'all ever go to Disney, and you have like those fast track passes, so you get to skip the line. Like one of those. For learning God's lessons. If that ever becomes available, Krishna, can you sign me up? Because it's rough out here. Please. Yes, this is how I talk to God. And God laughs at me and with me and chops me on the head sometimes and says, you silly girl, no. But that's okay. Because, again, passion is pain transformed into power. And that process of alchemy, from pain to power, is feeling the feeling and writing the story that liberates you. They're showing me the magician. You've been hearing me shuffle, maybe in the background. Magician on the bottom of the deck. Feeling your feelings puts you in the energy of the magician, the alchemist in other decks. Mastery of the elements, self-mastery. Well, was that call of light? Your contracts are whatever they are with God, and my contracts are my contracts with God. If your process is easier than mine, then good on you. You've got different karma than me. If your process is more difficult than mine, then Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You've got your own lessons to learn. This is not a process of comparison. But perhaps it's a negative projection that, or I should say a false projection that this is one way or the other. Yes. You're healing your relationship to hermit mode, friends. You're healing your relationship to hermit mode. Only you can define your life for you. Only you can honestly feel what it is you're feeling and call it for what it is. People like me can guide you and help you shift your perspective, which I'm more than happy to do. That's literally why I'm here all the time. Like I'm on YouTube. That's why I'm on YouTube. That's why I do what I do. But this is all aimed at helping you become who you are. It's all aimed at empowering you to take the reins in your life. Precisely. All are to be honored. All are to be honored. Sometimes we get to learn the easy way, and sometimes we have to learn the hard way. And honestly, if for me, I just gotta cry it out. If I have to cry this much in this life, I must have been really stoic in my last one. I must have been incredibly insensitive. And you know what? I don't even care saying that on here. Because if that's who I needed to be then to be who I am now, okay. Why not? Sky's the limit. And God's the creator. No, guys, I'm so wild out here. Like, sometimes I don't even know, like, what dimension I'm in. This is like one life. Or, I mean, huh? Is it really one life? I feel like I've lived 14 already. And I know you all feel the same. So it's like, why the same stuff over and over and over and over again, huh? Mastery. God wants to make perfect instruments out of us. And that's not an easy task, especially for a light worker. Especially for a light worker, because everything is that much harder. Because your role here is that much more important. It's interesting, because I did another video today that I didn't think would get uploaded. And it surprisingly uploaded faster, but I was told that this one had to go up first. That y'all needed this live first. So I'm gonna be making public that video tomorrow, if not the next day, depending on when God says the integration period is for these messages, because this is very much it precedes what's said in that message. And I heard that's the message. I heard that's the message. All right, family. Bang, bang, bang. What the heck's going on out there? Boom, clap, complete. God, you kill me. Okay. Krishna, you're funny, and I love you, and I'm tired and emotional, so I'm gonna go cry now. All right, family. I love you all so much. If you're needing help and support through this process, you can book with me down below, a reading or a healing, whatever you feel most guided to, but they keep screaming at me that those of you who are on the fence right now need to book with me. You need to book with me yesterday, because you're needing an external catalyst to help you move up and out of these circumstances, specifically tailored to you. So, I love you so much, and you're beautiful. I honor you. I'm gonna reiterate again, I had this intention before, and I made it pervasive throughout the entire video, the duration of this, but I'll say again that everyone who has sent healing energy towards me, I'm going to thank you for that, and then take it and amplify it back towards you times 10. Everyone here in the live stream is going to be receiving healing from anyone who has sent anyone healing in the process of being in this video today, in this live stream chat. All right, family, I love you so much, and I will see you again so soon. I'm hearing that some of y'all have been wondering about a Q&A, and that will be coming either later this week or early next week. So stay tuned. Again, I got a lot of exciting things that I'm working on for you all, and getting closer to the big reveal. Okay, I gotta go. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all so soon. Take care, family.